Help keep Kinks and Beats Daily ad-free and receive bonus content early with a contribution of 20 cents per episode. Visit herohabit.com/shop for more information. Welcome to Kinks and Beats Daily. This is Tony Fry, your host, and we are on episode 136, where we talk about Susannah Still Alive. And I don't really know where to classify this song. And when I put it up on the Hero Habit directory, if you go to herohabit.com, under the podcast button, there's a link to Kinks and Beats Daily. And we've got a directory that splits up all of these by the album that they're released on and by artists. So you can go to the Kinks or the Beatles or Paul McCartney or whatever, and you see a list of all the songs on all the albums and then the highlighted ones we've covered, and you can listen directly to those specific episodes. I don't know where to classify this one because technically it is a Dave Davies single, much like Death of a Clown. This song never appears on an official Kinks record, even though it's essentially a Kinks song. There are 4 musicians playing on this track. All 4 of them are Kinks. Ray is on piano and harmonica. The rest of the band are playing the instruments they always play. And it's been used as bonus material on the Something Else album because it was recorded within weeks of that album's release. And it was released on Kinks compilations. There's a 1970 UK compilation known as the Black Album that was actually compiled by Ray. The song appears between Big Black Smoke and Waterloo Sunset on that album and is one of 2 Dave tracks on the record. Now, that record was ignored by the UK and never released in the US because at that point their catalog was split, so they couldn't do that particular album because different people owned those recordings. So that one kind of gets lost. If you have a vinyl copy of that you'd like to get rid of, contact me because I would like to own it. In the US, it's not going to come out on an LP. I mean, it was released as a single, but as an LP until 1972 on the Kinks Chronicles. And that album, another compilation. And it features a lot of rarities and stuff, but it is not, it is considered a Kinks compilation. Incidentally, that album, Kink Chronicles, is being re-released for Record Store Day in 2020. With all this COVID-19 craziness, who knows when we'll actually get Record Store Day? The original day has already been postponed, and one has to assume the rescheduled day will get postponed, but it will be available at some point in some capacity as a Record Store Day release. The single peaked at number 20 in the UK, which was a bit of a disappointment because Death of a Clown was such a huge hit that they really wanted to capitalize on that and make it, as big of a follow-up. But ultimately, it peaks at number 20 in the UK. It does nothing in the United States. And it is a bigger hit elsewhere in Europe. So, I mean, it's a successful single. But just, I think because of the weirdness of it, the fact that it is all the Kinks, but that it's billed as Dave Davies, I think it doesn't get utilized as much as it should. Had it been a Kinks release, this song would have appeared on all their greatest hits albums. I mean, it charts better than some of their songs that are on greatest hits albums. And I think would have been a much more well-known song now. It might have still only peaked at number 20 in the UK, but we would still know it now because it wouldn't be bonus material on the second disc of Something Else. It would be, the 7th or 8th track on the Kinks' greatest hits. So that might lend to some of the how much we've forgotten about this song. Recording likely began on October 1st, 1967. So, like I said, this is just a couple weeks after Something Else is released. And then they released the track November 24th. You have to assume Something else just came out in September. So this is another case of the Kinks releasing product so quickly and so frequently. Let me pull up the book here because I didn't write this down. But we've got 1967. All right, stay with me here. We've got the Mr. Pleasant single that comes out April 21st. We've got the Waterloo Sunset single that comes out May 5th, so not that long. We've got Death of a Clown comes out July 5th. The Live Kinks comes out, oh, now we're in, what am I looking at? That's listed in August, but then also listed, oh, that was the American release. Then we have Something Else by the Kinks, comes out September 15th. The Autumn Almanac single comes out October 13th, so a month later. November 17th, the Sunny Afternoon album, which is a compilation, but a number 9 hit in the UK. And then November 24th, just a few days later, we've got Susannah Still Alive single by Dave Davies, backed with Funny Face. And that's November 24th. And then what's the first thing we have coming out in 68? I think there's actually a little bit of gap there. First thing in 68 is not until April with the Wonder Boy single, and nobody knows about that one, so that doesn't really count. So as you can see, at this point in time, they are just releasing a ton of material, and it's possible that they are capping off their own potential. Why would you put a Dave Davies solo single so close to the release of an album when that song doesn't really support the album? You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like this single, had it waited another month or come out in the beginning of 68 when they didn't have anything, they had 4 months in 1968 without a release. Maybe dropping this then would have bumped it up the charts a little bit. I don't know. Structure harmonically, it's all 1, 4, and 5 chords, except for in the middle of the chorus, he slips a 6 chord in there. But it's all very, very simple stuff. The hook of this song is that opening riff, which is so stupid easy. I can't believe nobody thought of it before 1967. We're just alternating between a G chord and an A chord. And what he does for the riff is he starts on the root, goes up to the third, and then chromatically climbs up to the fifth. Then back down, and then switches to the A chord. It's so simple, so dumb, and so catchy. I love it. Is a great hook. I love that opening intro. I wish they wouldn't have done it so that I could have come up with it on my own, but I don't know that I ever would have. Sometimes the easy stuff is the best stuff, and the one that's the hardest to get your fingers under, So that's it. It's a simple song. It's a good little rocker. Like I said, it is essentially a Kinks song with Dave Davies on lead vocals, but they had this weird attempt to split them up on the charts. After this, there's, rumors of a Ray solo album coming out that thankfully didn't happen because the Kinks are the Kinks. So it's a weird one, but it's a good song. And if you can track it down on some of the extended versions of their albums or one of these compilations, if you've got that laying around, it's definitely worth a listen. One of Dave's shining moments of this era. What are your thoughts on Susannah Still Alive? Give me a call, 925-494-1739, or you can email me, kingsandbeats@herohabit.com. All that contact information is available at herohabit.com. If you click the podcast button and go down to Kinks and Beats Daily, you can get all my contact information to reach out to me and to be included on this podcast. Also, I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. A bonus episode is going out exclusively to people who have contributed $4 a month to this podcast in the first week of May. And then we will have everybody else will be getting it shortly thereafter. But contributors that are helping us keep the lights on and keep this thing running are getting first crack at the Mars pick bonus episode. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. I hope everybody is healthy and well. And I will talk to you tomorrow. This podcast is presented by the Hero Habit Podcast Network. Swing by HeroHabit.com today to comment on this episode and poke around our growing database of sports and pop culture news, reviews, and collectibles. HeroHabit.com. Collect your heroes.